Three, two, one. New York is a whole new level of crazy these days. Hello, welcome back to Nefarious Reels. I'm the Replicator.
And I'm gonna. I don't know. I couldn't think of something in time. And I'm Roller Gator.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, Lamau. Welcome to Nefarious Reels.
Oh, I was waiting for you to if you're gonna.
Well, I mean,
But yes.
you're the host guy. You
Okay.
should be taking main charge.
Okay. But yes, we are Nefarious Reels. We talk about bad movies. But before we do our regular two movie discussion, we decided to do a Nefarious Reels first and talk about a new release because a certain movie came out for a lot of people that were excited, if depending on how you want to take it. But Madam Web, the newest Sony Spider-Man spin-off
Blockbuster,
blockbuster
Ballbuster.
masterpiece.
Yep. I just want to note this was mainly Cole's idea, and I said okay. So if you disagree with us, if you hate this format, it's all Cole's fault. I'm just along for the ride at this point. But Cole,
Okay.
please go ahead, explain the plot of Madam Web.
Yeah, so Madam Web, like I said, it stars Dakota Johnson as Cassie Webb. And honest, hang on, I gotta. Yes, on. So yeah, she is a paramedic in New York City in the year 2003. That year will be not really that significant, honestly, except for like a couple pop culture things. That's like about it. But she has to protect these three girls from this very rich dude, Emmanuel. No, it's not
It's like
Ezekiel
Ezekiel.
Sims. Yes, Ezekiel Sims, who had a vision that these girls were gonna kill him in like the future. So he wants to kill them first to delay his death. So it's like a mix. So this whole movie is almost like a mix of both Final Destination, but also That's So Raven visions, is what I would say,
Yeah.
depending on who you're talking about.
She had massive like cum strains coming out of her with her visions. Which I mean, they're
Yeah, because her
supposed to be
whole web
spider
connects her.
webs, but because it's all like liquidy looking when they come
Yeah,
out, it's like it's cum.
it looks like cum.
Yeah, it's like the Evil Within 2. It's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I guess if you want to call it that, it's spider cum.
Spider cum. I don't know. I was kind of let down. I might have unfortunately fallen to the hype train for this one. I also watched this in 4DX, so that might have also have contributed to me not
Oh,
enjoying it as much because it's shaking and moving around.
oh yeah,
Though
yeah. I saw it on Screen X, so it has like the 270-degree screen theater,
yeah, and
and
that's
it's
super
so
distracting.
it was distracting in some scenes because you would yeah, it would expand for some scenes, but then like other scenes completely blank, and it just looked like you were watching a movie in a regular screening.
Yeah, and Screen X is two
It was
extra
so
screen.
weird.
It's not one big screen. It's like two separate screens on the side. So there's always that like line.
Yeah, you get to view the sidewalls as well, and it's a very stupid gimmick,
It is.
I will admit. I mean, it would have to be like the right movie, but what there's not. I mean, I would say a good amount of movies that I don't think would do that perfectly. So,
Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I bet that would have done it really good. I was originally going to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in 4DX, but then I decided to do Morbius instead.
oh, that's the better option.
Yeah,
So,
clearly. But Madam Web,
yeah, Girl Morbius.
yeah, girl Morbius.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we have that like opening where she's like in the fucking Venezuela. She's in
In the Amazon, he was in the Amazon with her mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Do you think she like took a bath in the ocean and then a tiger ran out and it tried to attack her? And then a naked guy just showed up and just beat the shit out of it for her?
I have no clue. I mean, even that like whole opening sequence was kind of insane because it's like doing a lot of those crash zooms and it almost I don't know what it was trying to do. Like, was it trying to be some kind of vibrant movie cinematography wise? But then it just kind of goes the generic way after we get out of there. And you get to see Dakota Johnson become, well, first Cassie Webb when she's the paramedic, and then eventually Madam Webb. But that doesn't happen till later.
I don't know. We're really skipping over that she's pregnant with Cassie in the Amazon. It's
Yep.
like, damn, this fucking baby's being a real whiny crybaby right now in my
Yeah,
tummy.
I wonder why.
I'm trying to find spiders. Come on.
I'm trying to find this one rare spider for this guy who's totally not gonna betray me later.
No. She's finding it for different reasons. Ezekiel's just her bodyguard in the
Mm.
movie. She's just like,
Oh
I
yeah.
need this for. I need to find the famous CGI spider. She does find it, and then she gets shot by Ezekiel, who's just like, I need this for
I need this
something.
to stay young. It's like a. It seems like he tried to use it as like a fountain of youth thing
Is it? He
because the
never
guy
says
like
that
he
he's.
doesn't age.
His whole thing is
That's
just
what
like,
I
I
was
was
thinking.
poor and I need this, but I thought he needed it for like money, but he just like keeps it and he's like rich. Also, for some
Yeah.
reason, they never really explain it. It's just like, hey, he's rich and he can like get in contact with all this stuff and
Yeah. He's
just
very
buy
rich,
it.
and he somehow in 2003 has access to all cameras in New York City.
I don't know. Then we get the wildest editing as Ezekiel leaves her for dead. All these like
Oh, those
native
spider people.
Spider Men just show up out of nowhere. It's like, and they're like custom made Spider Man OC outfits, and they just like swoop her away into some cave.
And they put her in like some bath, and apparently, oh, the water broke, and she gives birth to Cassie right
They
there.
had one of those like home birth things, like where they
Yeah,
put them in like the pool with like the warm water, and then she shot out a baby, and then he's just like, "Yo, don't worry, I'll take care of this baby for you eventually.
eventually,
Life's
yeah.
gonna suck for her." And then
Yeah, she's
boom,
gonna live
Cassie
in New
Webb.
York City. Yeah, and then yeah, New York City, where she's a paramedic with Ben Parker, totally not any notable character ever known.
Like, why Ben though? Like, you really no other name, just Ben.
Well, I think they were trying to somehow make it like within, the Spider-Man universe, I believe.
Yeah, it's probably just the character was also named Ben in the comics. I'm assuming he
Yeah.
existed, but there's already like an Uncle Ben, so I don't know why you needed that either, unless he's supposed to be Uncle Ben. But that sounds kind of
Hmm.
stupid.
Yeah, we can't be stupid because this is a smart person movie, if you want to call it that.
But I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what happens next.
She
So,
saves
oh
someone.
yeah, they try to save that one person in the car that's like hanging on a thread
No, a
basically by
little
the
too far.
bridge.
No, first she saves like a lady because she's such a good paramedic, and then pretty much there's the guy. We get introduced to one of the girls. They're
Hmm.
like, "Oh, my son wants to thank you for saving my wife,"
Oh
and then
yeah.
she's like, I'm the stepdaughter. Should I go?" He's like, "No, you
Mm.
fucking piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here."
You're the reason your other mom is dead, so fuck you.
It's also your fault why the stepmother got injured in the first place somehow.
Yeah, it's always your fault.
Don't you ever forget it. And then so she just leaves. And you're like,
Yeah,
wow, I
she
bet
just
that character's
leaves.
not going to be important later.
Yeah, no, totally not. Yeah, and then oh yeah, no. Yeah, then it was that then the bridge part, or was that when they were eating the Chinese food?
They're eating the Chinese food.
Okay, yeah, they're eating the
Because
Chinese
there's
food,
the
and then
fortune cookie.
yeah, because the fortune cookies,
Just says, you will
paper.
die.
Yeah, it wasn't finished, and they're like, we can't order from here anymore. I mean, I mean, is their printer broken? Like, what is this?
This is very cringe. I only eat at places that print properly.
Yeah, I only eat at Chinese places that have the best printing of their fortune cookies possible, and not this garbage.
Yeah, but then they go to the bridge to save the guy, and then she falls into the bridge in the car, and then that's what I guess dying unlocks her powers, which seems like a really raw deal, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
very weird. It's almost like flatliners almost. Except they just gain like an ability from what I know what happens in those movies. And then she's just like, I can see into the future.
I can see in the future by like 10 seconds. I have the
Anything more or less than that? No.
very
Exactly 10
cringe.
seconds. Very cringe.
But yeah, she goes to a barbecue and she keeps having the visions. She gets pulled into a baby shower,
Who
which is oh, it's
is
so awkward, guys, because I'm adopted and my mom fucking died
my
in the
mom.
Amazon.
That that whole scene was honestly kind of funny. Unironically, like they're just like, why didn't you say anything, Cassie? Oh, my mom died when in the Amazon when she was researching spiders with this guy. And everyone's like, ew, cringe, your mom died?
She was just like, my mom died in the Amazon with this guy that she was studying spiders with.
And who's old? I was just about to mention, who's the baby shower for? Mary Parker.
Wait, wait a minute. So he
Wait,
Ben, what?
it's Ben. Well, it's like Ben Parker's sister-in-law. No, was it Mary? But no, it was Emma Roberts, and she's Ben's sister-in-law, and they're yeah, it is Mary Parker. Yeah, and it's totally not gonna be Peter. No,
Nah.
no, not at all.
Wait, so Ben Parker is no. So he really is Uncle Ben. So this is
It
all
is
connected.
yes. Yep.
I never clicked with me, and damn.
Well, it is obvious
Oh,
that her
then
web does
clearly
connect
this
them
film is
all.
obviously a masterpiece now. I just couldn't see it till now. Clearly, I can't believe I didn't realize that until you just actually told me.
Yep. I know it comes as a shock, but it's honestly hilarious that they decided, oh, this is like try 3 now of connecting the Spider Verse, the MCU Spider Verse with this Sony verse, I guess. But they did a really, really bad job at it. And a lot of forced shit and. Oh yeah, wait. Now, okay. Now think about it. After the baby shower, then they get a call
To go to the
to
Firebird house, which is about to
yep,
explode.
and her boss crashes. No, he doesn't crash it, but the
The
van
truck gets
basically
crashed
crashes in.
into him, but then that's a vision. But then she's like, "Wait, no, don't go. I'm
No,
gonna have to drive." And he's like, "No, fuck you. I'm 1 week away from retirement." And then he drives
and
off,
then
and then it gets hit, and then he dies.
and then he's like, no, why does this always happen?
He's like, "Damn, I was only what? I was 6 days, 23 hours, and
In
59 minutes
59
away
minutes from retirement. Damn it.
I keep.
Yeah, should we just try speed run this a little? Should we try and speed run this a little bit
I'm
so we're not
trying
talking about
to.
this for like an hour?
We're gonna talk about this for 2 hours, and you're gonna like it because this was your idea.
Okay.
I mean, I'm trying to. It's like rough because it's probably been like a week or two since I've seen it.
It's been like a week and a half for
Like,
me,
I
so.
don't remember how the hell did she even like link up with like the girls to like save them. I don't even remember
Um.
how that happened.
Oh yes, and okay. They were all on the same train, is what I remember, and
But why was she on the train though? That's what I'm trying to remember. Why is she go on the
fuck,
train? Was she like
I
going to
don't.
the funeral? Is that what was supposed to happen?
Oh, that might have been. I think it was. Yeah, it might have been the funeral that she was trying to get to, but then you know Ezekiel Sims is there as well, trying to kill
Kill the
these girls in
girls.
public,
But she
and
gets the vision and is like, "Yo, guys, we gotta leave."
and
And,
also New York's a whole new level of crazy these days.
and he's playing on the PSP or the PS Vita or PS Vita 2.
Sony product placement,
Yep, always and forever.
always.
What if he was just like had like a TV, like a Sony TV, and like a Sony, like the PS6, and he was just playing on that? It's like New York's a new level of crazy these days, unlike the PS6 with its incredible graphics. What if Sony just went full product placement and just started just name dropping things?
That honestly would have been hilarious. Kind of like in Sonic when they kept name dropping Olive Garden.
It's practically endless.
When you're here, you're family. uh, yeah, so they try to get off well, she gets them off the train, but then one of the girls starts screaming that Dakota Johnson's kidnapping them, so the police try to detain her, but what they don't see is a guy in basically a Spider-Man suit, but he's not Spider-Man, and he's, trying to get to the girls, and he's punching all the cops, and, she runs away after, she can, see the see the future, and just run away, and then they go on like some odd cat and mouse chase, I guess.
They go on a great adventure into the woods, and she's like, guys, you need to stay here.
You need to stay here for 3 hours before I get back. Don't ask any questions.
Here's some beef jerky I found in this taxi that we stole to get out of there. And I'm going to drive away now. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and you get nothing else, so...
You're just going to have to starve and die.
And you have to stay there. You only can stay there and go nowhere else.
We also learned about their...
go to that diner near the end of the forest. No.
We also learned their tragic backstory. It's like the glasses girl's just like, my mom's dead. Oh, yeah, my dad married my stepmom. And then the black lady's just like, my family's rich and my dad's polluting the ocean with plastic and they don't care about me. And then the Mexican girl's just like, my dad was deported.
And they all connect because obviously Sydney Sweeney was in the hospital. The black teenage girl, she
almost got hit
off Dakota Johnson after Dakota Johnson almost hit her. And then the other one, and then, who actually, the Mexican girl, she was the live action Dora the Explorer from those movies, that movie a couple years ago.
Oh, shit. Well, then this film is a masterpiece. Like,
the
more revelations keep going, like, damn.
I know.
Truly an all-star cast we've got going for us.
But yeah, she lives in the same apartment complex as Cassie, and she was, I guess, looking at her when the landlord was there saying, "Hey, where's the rent, girl?"
Yeah, but they're just like, let's just go get some food. We're gonna dance to what, Toxic?
Yeah, we'll dance to Toxic by Britney Spears on this table for the boys.
And then Ezekiel shows up and just murders them all. But that's just a vision.
Oh, that's just a vision.
A game vision. Thanks for watching.
And then Dakota Johnson's like, fuck that, we'll take this the other way. And then
I'm just gonna fucking hit Ezekiel with my car.
Rams into the diner. And she's like, we gotta go. Why the fuck did you not stay in that part of the woods for 3 hours while I was gone?
I'm gonna take you to Ben Parker's house and he'll watch over you. Well, I go to Peru for a week, and you better not leave here. You gotta stay inside the house this whole time while I'm in Peru.
Only Ben can come out of the house. And again, don't ask any questions what I'm doing, because I know what I'm doing.
I love how, like... It's just so stupid that she goes to Peru, because she's like, my mom died in Peru, I need to go there, and I have to figure things out, and she just gets pushed into the water by the same guy who's now like in a suit, because I guess he's just like, yo, being a spider furry is kind of cringe, and I'm gonna stop doing that now. I'm just gonna be a normal guy.
I used to be a Spider-Man, but now I'm just a man.
I'm just a man.
I'm a man's man.
And to show that, I'm gonna push you into a pool. Whoopsie.
Whoops.
Where she learns more of her powers and her backstory. Her mom wasn't some massive jerk that just hated babies. She was trying to find a cure for just Madam Web
Cassie.
because Madam
Because
Cat
of some condition, even though she wasn't born yet.
she was just like, fuck you, I'm gonna find a cure. I'm gonna find this one spider in the most hostile place in the fucking world. And this will definitely not have any repercussions on me. No,
No, not
sir.
at all. Like, no one will ever want these powers.
And she's like, oh no, my mom was actually good. I am sad. And she reawakens her powers just in time to fly back and learn that Ben Parker's an idiot who made the girls come with him to drive his sister to the
His
hospital.
sister-in-law to the hospital because her water broke. And, Ezekiel Sims almost kills all of them.
Instead, he just
Before,
ends
again,
up killing everyone
Madam
else.
Yeah, and then Madam Web again decides to steal a car and then just ram it into him. And then she goes, Ben, you keep going because he's not going for you. He's going for the girls and me.
And he's like, okay, bye. Bye, Ben Parker. Goodbye.
Bye, Ben Parker.
What if she just went, oh, by the way, Ben, you're going to get, like, shot in your car in the future, so be careful of that.
Yeah, watch out. There's going to be some guy named Flint Marco who's going to shoot you. And he's like, what?
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, we're never gonna see you again. Bye-bye. Like, literally, I'm never gonna see you ever again. Bye-bye. In the final battle...
It took me a second to think of that, but then I was like, oh, yeah.
It was a thinking man's joke, so, you're good.
You did your job well, sir.
But they have their final battle at that fireworks factory that was supposed to get destroyed earlier, but didn't, I guess. And they're like, we're going to blow up this fireworks factory, and then we'll fight Ezekiel, whatever the fuck his name.
On the Pepsi Cola sign.
Yeah, owned by Sony.
Because product placement, baby.
Sony owns everything, even Disney. Yeah, they have their final battle, except not really. It's mainly Ezekiel going like, you can't save the girls, they're all going to die. And she's like, well, nope, I'm going to use my powers, my spider-come power to make copies of myself, save all the girls, and you are dumb. And I'm going to lure over to this one part of the sign that I saw was going to fall over, and you will die. And then he does. And then Madeline gets shot in the face with a firework, and that was funny.
Funny.
So funny. I know, but
awesome.
Yeah, well, she gets launched in the ocean. The girls save her, and they give her CPR like she taught them earlier in the movie, which is so cool. And we learn that she is now blind and also in a wheelchair. And the girls are going to be so cool because they're all going to be spider ladies in really shitty costumes because those costumes look so fucking bad.
Oh, yeah, they looked real... It was all... They looked like, just random cosplay costumes you would see at some convention, not for a movie.
Like, I'm sure that that's exactly what it looks like in the comics, but it just doesn't look good when they, like, put it onto the screen.
Yeah, but I think, they were probably going, it seemed like a good idea, but then they were like, oh, God. Too late now, because we got to get this out to launch the Sony MCU Spider-Verse.
Again. I have something to know. It's weird because Ezekiel Manuel is like the main evil bad guy, but he's got like that like girl who's watching all the cameras, and she never gets her comeuppance at all. Like she just just does everything, and she's like, "Wait, we're gonna kill these girls," and she's like, "Yes, yeah," and he's like, "Oh, okay," just making sure, just checking.
Yeah, we just gotta make sure for plot reasons.
And there's so many parallels to Final Destination in this. It's actually like. Well, for starters, we have the premonitions, which, go hand in hand. But you also have, you have the scene of the...
Oh, you're good.
the car falling off the bridge, which is in Final Destination 5. You also have the ambulance crashing. That happens in, 2, because they have that ambulance that she crashes into the water as well with kind of their own premonition thing.
Yeah.
There's the truck coming to hit the boss and having the premonition about that, which is in Final Destination 1. Remember when she's driving the vehicle to the diner? You know what car was in front of her? A truck carrying all those logs. Like Final Destination 2.
Destination 2.
The
Oh
radios
yeah, that one had like one of my favorite death scenes in a Final Destination movie.
There's also the radios playing all weird, also like in Final Destination 3.
Wow.
Let's see. Fireworks.
Is this secretly a Final Destination movie?
No, it's not because Final Destination's made by New Line, which is owned by Warner Brothers, who's the
Oh,
Team DC. Also,
oh,
Climax
that's cringe.
involves fireworks, similar to Final Destination 3, where the main climax of the movie, a bunch of fireworks go off at the
Oh
end.
yeah, at the Fourth of July parade
Yeah.
or festival.
Yeah, let's see. I think there's like more I'm trying to remember. I think that's no, I think that's mainly it. It's also kind of ironic because like I'm not gonna let you kill these three girls, and in the process of not letting the three girls get killed, I'm pretty sure that led to Ezekiel Manuel killing way more people. Like it was a net negative overall in this like whole movie. Like
I
Ezekiel
did it.
killed
I saved the girls, but New York City's fucking ruined.
Like Ezekiel, I think killed like 10 police officers in their first escape. And
Yeah,
he blew up like 5 cars in like their final end. And then he blows up the helicopter, which definitely had 2 people in that.
most
So
likely.
so like a lot of people died for the sake of Madawim to get like moral validation that he didn't let the 3 girls die.
And to prove she's not an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. To show that hey, you know what? Mothers are pretty cool. What can I say? Meta Web, biggest girl boss of all time.
Sisterhood is the best hood.
Yep. Anything else you have left to say about Madam Web?
Um, I mean, other than just going into it expecting cringe and getting cringe, I mean, it was the best time. This is honestly the most I've ever laughed in a movie theater.
Yeah, I can't
I'm
say
not
the
even
same.
joking.
I wish I enjoyed this as much as you did, but no. No, it's I think this might be the worst film of the year so far for me. Of like the 6 movies that I've seen.
I know. I still think but to me, like Night Swim is just more boring out of the 6 I've
Well,
seen.
Night Swim is just about an evil pool, and I think that's funny. See, you need to watch Night Swim with me, and then you'd have way more fun with
Yeah,
it.
maybe I should have because I just like I think I almost like tried to fall. Well, my eyes were about to like fall asleep like at least 2 times.
I mean, I will admit, I would have probably loved the film more if they called it an evil pool, but they never did. So it's like, oh damn.
Yeah, no, they called. I think they only called it Night Swim too because of there was a. I think the director of it did like a short film called Night Swims. So
Oh no, I mean that in the movie they referred to it
oh,
as an evil pool. Like,
gotcha.
honey, that is an evil
Evil
pool.
pool.
Like, yeah, that would be great. But we should probably
Yeah,
we've been talking for 30 minutes about Madam Web. We should probably move on to the other movies,
yeah.
which
I think
I'm gonna
that's a
bet
good
we
amount
don't
of
have
time.
too much to say about the our 2 films we watched, if you ask me. But we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, so let's see. Let's okay. Yep. Retro pick me.
You,
And we decided to go with the sequel to Roller Gator, even though it's not really a sequel, but it just features a gator.
where's this we coming from? It was all you.
Did I say we?
You said we. You made it seem like I had a hand in this. I
Oh
had
no, no.
no
Oh,
hand
my
in
bad.
this.
No, let me okay, I'll backtrack. So my recommendation
There we go.
was the sequel to Roller Gator, but it's not really technically a sequel, but called Repligator. And the whole movie is just about the military going to these secret facilities where the scientists are trying to make weapons for the military, and one of them is a replicator device that accidentally turns people into alligators at some point, but really it's just turning men into women, but then they eventually turn into alligators through sex if they have sex. So yeah, kind of
Not if
weird.
they have sex, if they orgasm.
Oh yeah, orgasm. So yeah, you could have sex but not orgasm, but the orgasm's important. But yeah, what did you think about Repligator?
Well, I wasn't expecting it to be a boner comedy. I guess the best I can say is that it's interesting. It's
Mm-hmm.
unique. I think unique might be the word I'm trying to think of.
I would definitely say so.
Like I don't think I've ever really seen anything like Repligator. It's such a wild concept in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the setup we don't get. We get a nice setup of a main sergeant guy, military general guy, showing up to a lab and going like, "What the hell is this?" Trend. It's like transvestites in the army or something. Like it says on the newspaper. It's like, "What is this? We're paying you millions
Oh
of
yeah.
dollars for this thing." He's just like, "Well, you gave it to Dr. Oliver, and now let me tell you what happened with the replicator." And that's when we get to learn about the horrible events that happened on, the replicator day, where basically they're trying to make a replicator which will transport soldiers like through like walls and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so that way they can like invade the base, but it doesn't work properly. It turns like their test subject into a woman, and they're like, god damn it, we can't have a bunch of walking bimbos around.
We can't have women out on the battlefield.
that
It's
is
just
that
preposterous.
is cringe and not cool.
It's so cringe. And we can never let that happen.
Yeah, so their whole thing is just like, well, we're trying to figure it out and we need more time. But then there's Dr. Fields, who has this mind control thing, is like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of this situation so I can push
And
for
turn
my
these
mind control thing into stuff.
and I can turn these women into obedient sex slaves if you want.
And they're like, oh, yes, that is what we want. Oh. Like, it takes a bit to actually get to the gator part of
It
Replicator.
takes so long to get to the in terms of like the percentage of runtime, it takes so long to get to the replicators.
Oh, I forgot to mention, there's a Brink Stevens cameo in this movie. To all
Mm.
you B movie fanatics like me, if you've seen enough David Takado 80 films, you know what I'm talking about. She's in Sorority Bays and Slambolorama. She's in Nightmare Sisters. She's in a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, I guess if now I just thought about this, if we're gonna talk about, I guess you could also say it's a cameo, but Dr. Kildare, the first Doctor we meet after that one general who can't stop screaming about the experiment going public and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Doctor, he is the original Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that's actually kind of
Yep.
cool. Wow, that
Yeah.
is a cameo.
OG Leatherface.
Oh, damn, that's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, the whole film for the most part is mainly just, oh, I can transform these sexy babes and they make them our slaves. And you let me hook up my stuff to the replicator thing. And Dr. Alvarez is like, Dr. Fields, you can't do that because it goes against everything. And like all that stuff. And it's just basically, for the most part, it's just watching women get transformed, become a hot woman and stuff.
Yeah. So especially Doctor with the
Dr. Fields.
pimple, Doctor Yanni.
It's like Dr. Harvey or Harley.
Yeah, something like that. Hang on, because Doctor Hardy, yes.
I was getting there.
Yeah, so she was, I guess, ugly, but then when she goes into the replicator, she turned, hot.
She was ugly, as in she just had a fake big mole attached to her face.
Yeah, she had like a huge fake ass mole, and she wore glasses, so she was ugly. But then when she took them off, she was hot after. And obviously, it's in one of these movies where it's just super horny. It's just very much sexually objectifying women and not anyone else. Because like when the dudes are like that, like, no, bro, gross.
Yeah, no dick in this movie. Mainly just boobs.
Only tits. Only bare tits.
They did have a reason to explain why the men turned into women and why the woman ended up turning into replicators, which I think is kind of neat because they could have just gone, oh my god, they got the science machine turned them into alligator creature things. Where it's just like, oh, because when you shoot them, their DNA gets stretched out, their male DNA, but then the female DNA stays in, so that's why they transform to females. And then it's just like they turn into
Mm.
alligators because the effects of the mind control and the machine causes the
Oh
DNA to
yeah, yeah,
revert into like the prehistoric area with the
yeah. They're like, oh man, we're going back to our primal instincts,
there's like
pre-primal.
I thought we just went for primates. It's like, well, originally we came out of the water.
Yeah, and I will definitely give the movie credit for that. They actually kind of explain some of the stuff the doctors were doing, so that's kind of nice.
That's more credit. That makes it slightly better than your average sci-fi porno.
Definitely better than some of the other ones we've seen.
But that's kind of the main draw is pretty much yeah, because someone turns when they finally do turn into the alligators and they just start attacking. When if you get killed by an alligator, you become
You turn into a
a gay
zombie.
zombie, a flamboyant zombie.
Yeah, let's say flamboyant. We can't assume that they're gay.
I guess not, but they always seem to be going for the men that are
Yep.
around. They also invent a gun, like a portable replicator with like the
Yeah,
gun.
that can zap them and then, also bring them back to their original selves at some point.
Well, that's like later, but originally it just has the same effect as the replicator. It will turn the men into the woman if they get shot by. They get like a weird bubble dissolve effect thing if they get shot with it, and then they'll get turned into a woman, and then if they get shot again, then they can turn back into men or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, but the power goes out, and so they're all kind of like stuck. So two of them
Yeah,
are
they're like,
trying
shit.
to
So
solve the.
we gotta figure out what Dr. Fields did and maybe I can fix it.
Well, they do.
And
Basically, it's just like I'm gonna go in this little corridor. I'm gonna just jam a knife into this metal box, and it'll turn on the power. But Doctor Fields keeps shooting the gun, which results in the power going out because the replicator gets like overloaded with
yep.
so much power because Doctor Fields uses his mind control thing in it, and like really all just mucks it all up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's when we, get the just long then we get like the final shootout basically.
Yeah, they're just like firing
Where
like crazy.
it's almost like an arcade game, it looks like, where they're just going, yeah, we're shooting all the gators and flamboyant zombies and people because we gotta defend ourselves. Pow, pow, pow. Just start blasting.
Pow pow.
Pow, pow.
Yeah. There's not really too much to say. It is a what you see, what you get. There is a great stunt, stunt in quotes, where when Dr. Oliver gets hit in the balls and gets punched, he like actually throws himself over the desk and like falls off and it crashes into the chair behind him and into the floor. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's
I mean, he
fun.
probably broke like every single rib in his body for that like bit.
But it was worth it for
It was
us.
worth it.
It was worth it for us nefarious boys.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
But the whole building collapses because the replicator gets overloaded, but they successfully turn everyone back to normal. Well, first, I should be note that Dr. Fields has like an assistant that gets turned into a female, and then later,
Yep.
when Dr. Oliver comes, she's like, well, I don't want to be turned back into a man because being a woman is like so liberating. It's like, well, okay, well, after we turn everyone back to normal, I will turn you back into a woman if you help me. And he's like, okay. Well, she's like, okay, let's respect the genders here.
Yes.
And she's like, okay. So after successfully changing everyone, Dr. Oliver, after getting his share of the money to basically keep quiet about what happened, he does go back to where the Dr. Fields' assistant, which also should note, Dr. Fields could turn into a woman during the debacle. And they go there, and he's just like,
Yep.
are you sure you want to be a woman? He's like, oh, yes. Yes, I do. And so Dr. Oliver turns Dr. Fields' assistant back to a woman, and then he also turns Dr. Fields back into a man, and everyone gets a happy ending in the movie. Dr. Oliver hooks up with Dr. Hardy, and then the movie ends with the like General Sergeant or whatever his name is getting a fight with Dr. Kilhardy or whatever.
Yeah, with
and then they get turned into a
Dr.
woman.
Leatherface.
Yeah, and then they get in a fight with the gun, and then they both
And
turn
then
into
yeah,
women.
and then they're like, we could try and change this back, but it'll take a while. So why don't we go shopping
Oh my
and get
god.
manicures?
Yep.
Yeah, girl.
Girl boss, let's go.
Girl bosses, let's go.
Happy end all around. I don't know. Replicators is definitely more fun. I like the cheesiness of the. It's just literally just like a rubber like
Just
mask
very
that just wear
goofy.
on top, and it's like fun because that's what it's going
Yep.
for, like a cheapo comedy kind of feel. And I think it is kind of charming. I mean, like the designs of the labs and stuff is actually kind of neat. There is, excuse me, there is a definitely a level of effort. It doesn't just feel like, we'll just throw some cheap things together and then we'll just flash boobs and then we're just like we're done for the day.
Yeah, there. Yeah, you could definitely say there was definitely some effort put into it. I mean, especially the gator designs. I think were my favorite part because they were the funniest looking thing.
They were definitely pretty goofy.
But it honestly, for a movie like that, it just fits. So nothing wrong with that.
It was low budget, but I think even the idea of Lone is charming. Just like, oh, experiment
Mm-hmm.
turns soldiers into women, and the woman will turn to gators. It's just like so weird and strange that it makes it like generally interesting. I'm kind of glad that I did finally get around to watching this. It's always kind of been on my radar, so I'm glad I did finally get a chance to watch it.
Yeah, I know Red Letter Media talked about it in one of their videos.
Yeah, they did do that, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy bastards. Now people are gonna call us that we're ripping them off. Ugh, awful. Just terrible.
I know, such a shame. But yeah, you got anything else about Repligator to say?
I don't think so. I think I kind of said the main thing. I don't know.
I think we definitely
I love the
hit
cover they
everything.
got for it.
It's a very interesting cover. Yes, it's got everything that a teenage boy especially would love. Gators in boobs and bikinis.
Boobs.
Gators, boobs, and bikinis. Yep, everything that a teenage boy would definitely love.
Yep.
Because at times it felt like a bunch of teenage boys made this movie.
I mean, maybe it was, and we just don't know it.
Maybe. Maybe the director was a teenage boy and his dad was in the business and he's like, "Hey, can my son make a movie? He's jerking off on that computer too much. Can he please like do something else out of the house? I don't even care if he just flashes tits everywhere. Just please let him do something else instead of just watching porn."
Here's a question for you: is this film better or worse than Roller Gator?
I would honestly say a little better.
I would say it's worse. I think I prefer Roller Gator more. I think it's kind of a stranger con. I don't know. I think Roller Gator is, I don't know. It's weird because I think Roller Gator is much lower budget than this, but I think it has kind of
Mm-hmm.
more charm because of it.
I think I just like the absurdity in this in Repligator more. But honestly, I could definitely rewatch both of those anyway because they're both just goofy and funny, and that's honestly what always makes them good.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all that I needs to be said about Roller Gator.
Yeah,
I mean
I
Replicator.
definitely think we tackled everything.
I meant Replicator, not Roller Gator. We already talked about Roller
Yep.
Gator a while back.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were saying anything else, but
No, no,
yep.
no. I was done.
Now we are on to the modern pick, and obviously, since I just did the retro, this is the Jedi. So take it away with your movie recommendation that you were totally not picking while intoxicated.
Oh no, definitely not.
No.
So the film I recommended is 2003's The Singing Forest, which is about this guy named Christopher.
Yep.
And well, he's kind of a drunk. His wife passed away. His life is kind of in shambles. And he goes to meet his daughter, which he hasn't seen since sending her off to college, to meet her fiance, who he feels like when it's meeting him thinks he has a connection to in a past life because in a past life because of what a psychic told him, and it's about their delivering relationship. Oh, also, it's because he was like a Jewish guy, and that lover was a
And
Nazi apparently. But
yeah,
that is
during the Holocaust, and
barely
their
touched
names were
on.
like Joe and Alexander. But yeah, again, they like barely touch on that.
Cole, what'd you think of the Singing Forest?
Honestly, I mean, with I think we both said this honestly, but with that kind of poster, I really thought it was going to be a lot more than just a very boring movie that was thankfully under 70 minutes, really,
Yeah.
because it was just a lot of like the same stuff every time. It's just Christopher does this, and then he, starts talking to his daughter's fiance and talking about reincarnation and past lives, and then it just kind of wash, rinses, and repeats.
That's
And
really
I'm still confused on what was happening most of the time.
well, yeah, the ADR or the audio wasn't very good in this. I
Well,
mean,
the camera quality was also not that good either.
yeah, it's like a definitely cheapo movie. Like the whole part of them being like the Holocaust and like star-crossed stuff. There was like really no reason for it, like at all. It could have been anything. They could have just been like, oh, we were like star-crossed lovers in a previous life, but it just wasn't meant to be. Or oh, our families didn't want us together, and this is our kind of time. Because it only plays a purpose at the very beginning, where they have, I guess, the shots of what I'm assuming is them running away and then getting killed with actual pictures of the actual Holocaust, which is kind of fucked up. Especially
Yeah,
the last shot with the guy with his like brain just openly exposed, which I don't know if that's a real actual picture, but that was like, what the fuck?
yeah, it was definitely an interesting choice,
Like
but
throughout the movie, I was genuinely just waiting for like, okay, when's the scene where we're gonna get like the flashback of them as like a Jewish guy and like a Nazi making out? That's what I'm waiting for because that's what you're showing me on the picture of the
yeah, we were
poster.
waiting and it never happened.
It never happened. It's just mainly him going like, I am sad and I believe in past lives.
I yeah believe in past lives, reincarnation, and hey, may I think you were one of them.
I think you were the guy that I was banking with. Unfortunately, you're my. It's so weird too because it's just like, oh hey, it turns out my previous lover in a previous life. That was actually it's my sister's fiance. No, no, no. It's my daughter's fiance.
Fiance.
And he's just like, no, no, we're not. What are you talking about? Shut up, Christopher. You're weird. You're weird and
Christopher,
cringe.
you're making me feel very weird right now. Sir, I'm very uncomfortable.
They just go to the beach and they just sit on the rocks and talk about reincarnation. And he's like, Christopher, what the fuck are you talking about? I think my favorite scene is when they're walking across the bridge and it's just music. You can't hear what they're
Yes.
talking about, and it keeps cutting to them walking on the bridge. But it's such a small bridge; it's just the same shot of them walking, and then it cuts them back at the start of
Yeah,
the
with
bridge
the
to walk
audio cut
more.
out and just the music playing.
And it feels like, and it wouldn't be weird, but because he gets like mad, but then they like talking like we know what they were talking about while they're on the bridge. It's just like, stop talking about the reincarnation thing. Oh my god, it's my own life.
Bro, stop it. Your obsession with reincarnation is very cringe.
He's like, no, you are Alexander. Please, you must love me. Because if you don't,
No,
I will be
bro.
sad.
I will be sad and commit Minecraft.
Oh, but we do get to see Dick in the movie. When he gets like naked in like his like
Oh
daughter's
yeah.
room, which is totally kind of weird.
Yeah, again, already weird, especially with like his daughter in the vicinity. It's just like, dude, come
It's
on.
weird enough that why is the daughter giving up her bed for him and he gets naked in her bed and also watches a picture of her fiance and her while playing like the snow globe and it's like really really
Yeah,
weird.
it was super odd.
I don't know. I think another aspect I always like is that in the house scene there's just bottles everywhere like as like decor for some reason. It's just like one shot. There's
Oh
like
yeah,
four
right.
bottles in
They
the
did.
window, or there's like a ton of bottles on
By
top
like
of
the
like the
sink, there'll be like
fridge.
some, yeah, by like the sink maybe. And was it maybe because, they were just like, oh shit, we don't have anything to throw this away in. Let's just make it decoration in the house.
I
Why
think
not?
it's just a sense that they're just like there needs to be decorations in this scene, and like let's just put
Uh-huh.
bottles everywhere.
Sure.
I mean, you also
I
got
guess that'll work.
the goofy ass edit of him drinking beers, and they just keep adding like 5 beers every cut to be like, oh, see how many beers he's drinking.
He's such a drunk.
He's
Get
so
it?
drunk because he's sad. He's a sad
Because
little
he's
uwu
still
baby.
grieving over his wife's death and that this one guy won't believe him in his reincarnation
He won't believe in
theory.
reincarnation, and he's not buying any of my healing crystals.
Fun.
Yep,
Very fun.
very fun. I mean, and why is it called the Singing Forest actually? Because that's like the name of the
Because there was
newspaper.
something about like a story being, because that one guy went to Christopher's house earlier and they were talking about like this some kind of article he wrote called The Singing Forest. And again, it's about like the past live reincarnation thing that we barely touch on. It's just insane.
I mean,
But I
eventually,
guess that's why, because I don't know.
I think I don't know. The weird thing is because the reason why he like believes this is because a psychic told him it was true, and then later on
Mm-hmm.
the fiance goes and just reiterates kind of like the same thing and goes like destiny will like get you to your loved ones together, and then it's like they pull a fast one because like oh the daughter's name is Destiny and they're gonna and she brings them together. Because she finds them, because the fiance gets drunk and gets in bed with like Christopher, and then she finds him. He's like, "No, it's not what you look. What do you think it is? We just slept in bed together, sweetie. That's all."
Yep.
And she's just like, "I want the person I love to walk down the aisle with me, and with the person I love." And the fucking end is her walking down the aisle with her dad, but instead of her hugging with her fiance, it's the dad
It's
goes to the fiance.
Christopher. Because oh no, yes, because there was that the thing with the psychic, and she was talking about this thing called destiny, and by that point I was like, oh my god, what is happening? And they were talking about how destiny brought those two together, even though yeah, like neither of them were that bound together. They never seem mostly because the fiance was just like, bro, I mean, I'm marrying your daughter. Is this not weird?
He's like, "No, it's
But
not weird. It's reincarnation."
yeah,
Ah.
it's normal. But yeah, it's just like, why? And then, oh, because we gotta keep bring this over somehow, but whatever.
Yeah, but then they kiss and then they become their previous selves, and he's not in a Nazi uniform, so it's all bullshit.
Yep. It's modern day, which is honestly better because no Nazis, because we don't condone Nazism or fascism.
We don't, but it definitely would have made the movie better if he
It
was
would have
wearing
made it
it.
better, especially if like at some point maybe during the film it like went back to those times, so we maybe get more background on Joe and Alexander,
Yeah,
maybe.
it didn't need to be the whole movie. I just need like a 10
Yeah,
or
it could have been
15
just
minute
like,
scene
yeah,
like establishing their relationship, or like the struggle of them being unable to like truly actually get together. Cuz the only way we get
exactly.
this is just in a monologue where he's talking about his past. So he's like, "Oh yeah, I was part of like this Jewish resistance group because the Nazis had this kept this like gay club open to get like gay people and trick them, and they think women are just breeders for like the superior race, and blah 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 blah." And it's like, man, this would be like really cool if this was like a flashback scene and we get to see them meeting and stuff and how that relationship goes. But no, we just gotta take their word for it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like those fuckers that made the movie, they knew if they put two guys and one of them in a Nazi uniform just on top of each other in the poster, they know that idiots like us would totally go watch it to see what the hell this thing's about. Bastards.
And I was kind of disappointed.
I was let down. I'm so disappointed. I think this is definitely the most let down I've been with any recommendation we've ever had on Nefarious Reels. Maybe just of all
Hmm.
movies ever. Like I can't think of a film that I was like more hyped for and then let down for Nefarious Reels.
Yeah.
Like even something like Slender Man or like Ginger Dead Man, at the very least, they actually show up in the movie. They are there and they do things.
Especially Slender Man, even though it was like dark as shit and you really couldn't see anything, but he was there.
He was there.
I will give them that. They did put him in there.
I don't know. I don't really have much to say. If you want to sit through a film where they just talk and be boring and there's terrible audio and terrible music and terrible
And
everything
terrible cinematography and
and be
just
bored out of your
terrible, yeah,
fucking
sound
mind,
mixing, sound editing.
if you just want to be bored out of your mind for an hour, 10 minutes, this is the film for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, there isn't much to say about the Singing Forest because since it doesn't deliver on what you want and just goes for the most boring route possible, there is really, truly nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I got nothing left to say. How about you, Cole?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I really got anything because, again, there was not really much going on and it was super disappointing, even with the short runtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that we're done talking about the movies, we are now going to be picking which one is the better of the two. So, Ninjutei, which one was your favorite this go around?
Oh, it's Replicator because there's actually fucking gators in the goddamn movie.
Okay.
The thing on the cover actually happens of Replicator.
Yeah, you nope, you are totally right. They are there.
Like the whole movie could have just been porn and it would still win because they put a fucking alligator head on the goddamn babes. Okay.
But they did become gators.
Yeah, so yeah, Replicator wins. Like no questions asked. That I fucking there was no way Replicator was going to lose against the only reason why Replicator would lose to a Silent Forest if that it turns out there was no gators or science and the whole thing was just a guy
Mm-hmm.
reading a fucking dictionary out loud.
Exactly.
What about you, Cole?
But they
Which one would
didn't.
you choose to be the best?
Replicator.
Well, yeah, no questions asked.
Yeah, I know. I definitely was more entertained by Replicator, even with how goofy it was more fun.
But yeah, congrats, Cole. It's been a while since you actually won.
I know.
It's been a long trek, but you did it. You've managed to do. Here it is. This is the start of the Cole Renaissance. You're just gonna win every single episode now, forever.
Hell yes.
And
Let's keep the streak going,
yeah,
everybody.
let's do it. But let's move on to questions now.
Yes, let's go to questions.
All right. So we have two questions. Well, actually, we have three questions because of friends. Definitely because of friends. But our first question comes from Mattias, which is, in your opinion, what is your co-host's biggest movie hot take? What is, in your opinion, a hot take that I have? I'll let you go first because I have a feeling that you might already have an idea in mind of what hot takes I have.
um, I hang on. I might have to look at your ratings again, but I know one of them is well, I got a couple also. King of the Ants is the first one.
You stole mine. I was gonna say King of the Ants because you hated it.
Yeah, I really did not like it, and you loved it. So
I think it's unfair to say that I have a hot take because I think the majority of people who watched it in film club liked it more than you did.
I know, I believe so. Yeah, but it was like one of the first that came to mind, honestly.
I was gonna say you hating it because I know some people when it came to King of the Ants they weren't the biggest fan, but you like hated it. You gave it like a 3 out of 10. Like holy shit,
It was it was just cringe. I did not like anything about it.
you're cringe.
It was just annoying.
You just didn't get it, man. You know what? It's
Yeah,
like
I guess I didn't get it.
it's a deeper character study of like a guy who tries to prove that he's not just some irrelevant like person, and how it all blows up in his face.
Yeah.
Like,
It just I even with like the low indie feel, which I kind of love those kind of movies. I just did not vibe with it at all, and I mean, I just thought the guy felt like an NPC the entire time.
well, that's kind of like the point, though. I would argue he's supposed to be an NPC. He's supposed to be kind of like irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, which is why he tries to kind of rebel against that. That's kind of the point of the movie.
Yeah, but I don't. It just felt like too. It just felt to me too repetitive and just like beating the dead horse on. Oh, look at this guy. He's such a fucking idiot. He'll just blindly follow anything and fall under groupthink, and he'll help the random Baldwin brother with this one thing and kill that guy from Office Space. And then he's like, "Oh shit, why would you go back to the same house when you already kind of know the layout of the house with the wife there, and then you totally randomly guess where certain things are in the house, and she's like, oh, how do you know? And then it was just way too corny.
I mean that's wrong. You have terrible taste in King of
I
the
guess
Ants,
I
but
do.
that's just something that you're gonna have to live with, man.
I mean, the only good thing I will say about the movie is the poster on Letterboxd and the one on IMDb are really good. Are actually they're really good.
Maybe you should probably change to a different hot take, because it
Yeah, I
has
was
to be
about to
something that
say.
goes against the grain.
I was about to say. Now I gotta like think about another one. Let's go. I mean, honestly, one I would say when I was kind of looking through your ratings again, Under the Skin.
Oh yeah, my 6 out of 10. I don't know, that it didn't
Yep.
click with me. There,
Okay.
I don't know. I think, kind of just like, the alien capturing people, and then like they got some nice shots and they got some like good effects, and I don't think the story is bad. It just didn't really click with me with like its messaging and such.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
if I was gonna focus on another hot take of yours that we differ on is your absolute hatred for Death to Smoochie, which I happen to like a lot overall. Going back to our Nefarious Real roots here, but your absolute hatred for a movie that I actually enjoyed way more than you, it kind of baffles me a
Oh my
little.
god.
Like, I don't get it, man. I just don't see what you
It's
hate about it so much.
I mean, again, I could go on that whole spiel again, but honestly, I it's just so fucking stupid. It didn't feel like a movie. It just felt more something like, I mean, I said in my Letterbox review, but it felt more like something that Frank Reynolds would have made because, he was bored one day and decided to go, "Hey, let me make a movie about these two kids entertainers, and one wants to kill the other or get them off the air." And then it was everything about it was just so ridiculous, like incompetent and weird, but like weird in a bad way. I just don't understand what they were trying to go for. And most of the jokes were just horrendously bad.
Well, you didn't like the penis?
I mean, the penis was kind of funny, but it was like, oh, haha, get it? Because it's a penis in a kids show. Oh no, we're gonna get him kicked off the air for that. Oh no. Like, that's never gonna happen ever. That's never happened before, or no one's ever thought of that.
All right. I mean, fair enough. Do you have one more hot take that I got?
Oh yes, one more. I think we also differ on this movie a lot, even though I don't think it's a perfect movie, but the Kachowski's Speed Racer.
Oh yeah,
I
fucking
know
hate
you
that shit.
hate that
I hate
movie.
that movie.
I find it as a guilt. I kind of find it as a guilty pleasure, honestly.
Some crimes can never be forgiven, Cole. I can accept you hating King of the Ants and Death to Smoochie, but Viking Speed Racer, that's going too fucking far.
I
It's
don't even say I love it. I just said I enjoy it. It's like a weird guilty pleasure.
it's
That's it.
visual vomit. I hate looking at that movie.
I mean, yes, it is like horrible to look at. It looks like a Spy Kids movie, but on its bad days. But honestly, I think the racing sequences are very well directed and definitely carry the movie for me.
Nah, hard disagree, man. If the Speed Racer was recommended, it would not do so well on my ranking.
Was that a ninja? More like a nanja.
Ugh. I guess we'll move on to our next question, which is from Robert. Very simple. Will you ever do a live stream? I think if we were to do one, it would have to be like a special occasion,
Yeah.
like episode 100, kind of like Sardonicast. We'd
Yeah,
get
what the
together.
Sardonic boys did.
Yeah, one of us will come into the other person's place, watch the movies together, hold hands, kiss, get under the sheets, and then the next morning we'll record the episode and talk about the movies. And hopefully, a lot of people will watch the live stream. Like my big concern, because we don't have a lot of subscribers, is that maybe by episode 100, we won't have a lot of people who are actually watching the live stream, and asking questions, interacting, and that would really stink overall if we just did a live stream and like no one was there to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm willing to gamble it by episode 100 we'd have enough of an audience that we would be able to interact with them and not just talk to like a camera the whole time, and each other of course, because we'd be there. But that is overall, I think we will do a live stream. I don't think it'd be really anytime soon, unless I don't know, something else comes up, like we hit like a million subscribers like tomorrow or something, in which then it's like, oh shit, guess next episode we gotta do a live stream because we reached a million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Cole?
Yeah, I think it would. I think it would definitely be a fun thing to do
Someday.
at some point, but we'll have to figure that out.
Not in the next couple of weeks though, because I'm moving and I gotta figure all that stuff out and all that fun stuff.
True.
Uh, we'll move on to our last question from a friend, which do you think it's better to watch a bad movie at the theaters or just watching it at home?
Ooh. Okay, to me, I think that depends on the movie. And also if there's anyone in the audience, because if you're in a theater and you see and there's someone in the audience, maybe it might not, but
It would
it,
overall depend. I think a flaw with watching a bad movie at home is that you're more likely to get distracted by like your phone or like to get up and do
that
something
too.
else maybe, because it's just like, because you have it, at least in a movie theater, you have to stay put. You kind of have to
Yeah,
commit to
you at
like the
least have the
movie.
occupation of actually sitting down and watching it on the screen and just going, okay,
And
let's
I
do
mean,
this.
if it's like a genuinely funny bad movie, seeing it in a theater is like a real blast.
Oh yeah.
But like if it's just a snore fest, there is kind of a sense of, why don't I just like watch this at home or something?
Yeah, and that's probably when you make the excuse of, oh, I could probably just put this on in the background and do other stuff while this is playing.
Yeah, and I think another thing, though, the thing with doing it at home is that there is a sense of you can do this kind of like at the comfort of your own home, or like is it,
Uh-huh.
if you're at the theater and you have to go to the bathroom or you have to get up and like take a call or something real quick, you might miss like a chunk of the movie, and that might, well,
Mm-hmm.
in general, it's just a problem with movies in general. Kind of being at home, being able to pause it and maybe actually do something else can be better for a movie, because if you're at the movies, you kind of have to commit as well. So if you're miserable for the first half, you just gotta stay miserable for the rest. While at home, you can pause it and come back to it in like 15, 20 minutes after you kind of just like detoxed yourself from it, and then you can just take the rest of that poison.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would depend on like what kind of movie you're watching. But I guess if I had to choose between watching a shitty movie at a theater or at home, I guess I would prefer going to a theater to watch it, because I think that's kind of charming in its own
Mm-hmm.
way.
I would say so.
Like if David
And you
Ducado got
could
like a theatrical release, you bet your
you're
goddamn
buying
right.
you are buying every seat in the theater for that. You don't care if no one else goes in there.
I don't. I'm buying every seat to make sure no one else is in there, so I can have the pure David Ducado experience that it was meant to be seen in.
Yep.
I mean, he is a master craftsman of his work. I mean, have you noticed David Ducado's never been nominated for a Razzie because he's just that fucking good.
That is true.
Anyway, that's it. That's all we got for questions.
Okay.
So, do it, Cole.
Yeah, now we are on to recommendations. And obviously, since I just did the retro pick, Ninjita, it is your turn for the retro pick. But actually, before we are doing Razzie Worst Picture winners again this year,
Yep.
like we did.
We did it last year, and you kicked my monkey ass with Showgirls. And who knows? Maybe I'll get to repay the favor this time around.
We'll see. But yes, what is your pick, kind sir?
Okay, so I had a pretty big margin to choose from. So I lined up all the Razzie winners pre 2000. I took off the ones we've already seen.
Yep.
And I took off the one that had over a 3.0 score.
Okay.
Then I took out all the sequels.
Okay.
After that, I pretty much took off any kind of mainly like super comedies or romance movies since we just kind of watched those last episode. And I also took off one that there was no real way for us to actually watch it that I could find.
Oh, okay.
So that left me with
Okay.
like 5 movies left, and I chose the one that had the lowest score of those 5. And it just so happened that movie is the very first film to win the Razzie for worst film. So we're going to do 1980s Can't Stop the Music.
Can't Stop the Music. Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, shit, with the Village People.
Yeah. It looks pretty interesting, actually. I'm kind of intrigued to check it out. I mean, look, that fucking mustache on that biker guy.
That is a very 80s stash.
Very
like,
thick.
that's like thick with 3 C's.
I wonder if this film's going to be gayer than The Sinking Forest. I mean, just alone by the picture alone, the screenshot they used for the film already is better than the entire movie of The Sinking Forest. So,
yeah.
anyway, Cole, your turn with the modern
Yes. Pick. Okay, so I did debate for a sec, and then I was like, fuck it. There was 3 I was thinking of. 2 of them I've seen. 1 of them I haven't. But then I was like, I had a second going, one of these I've seen, I kind of want to rewatch again, and it is kind of teetering on the scale. So it's apparently one of the most divisive movies on Letterboxd. We are going with 2001's Freddy Got Fingered.
I had a feeling that this one was going to be chosen. Is this because it didn't get chosen for Film Club?
Maybe.
All right, well, fair enough. I mean, it is a Razzie winner, so,
It is.
It went in...
It's a movie I kind of always wanted to talk about anyway because of just how weird it is, I guess you could say.
Fair enough. I mean, I already own it on DVD, and Criterion's got it on their streaming site, so
they do.
I guess that means hopefully we'll get a Criterion release of Freddy Got Fingered on 4K, if we're lucky.
I think it's like if I remember reading it somewhere, it's like one of Chris Rock's favorite movies, so you already know it's good.
Yeah, I mean, the lead star of Spiral. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
How could
the guy who saved Saw?
How this film won a Razzie, I have no idea. But wrap it up, Cole.
Yep. So if you don't want to be spoiled for Can't Stop the Music or Freddy Got Fingered, watch them before the next episode. And, maybe leave us some questions as well, or, like and subscribe. I don't know. Maybe some favors will go towards your way. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, come on. We're watching Village People and Tom Green next episode.
Yeah,
what's not
we get
to love?
To watch Tom Green jerk off a horse flail a baby.
Yeah. But you all have a good day.
Clean family fun.
And have a happy Morbius.
Happy singing forest.
Happy Madam Web. I don't know why you didn't say Madam Web. It was right there, man.
Happy he was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Happy Repligator, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.